So one of the most common questions I get is, why do I do what I do, and how do I help myself? And really the journey started for me when, I was in a car accident when I was 13 years old, and it was in that moment really that I realized I really wanted to help people, and so it led me onto a search of so many different things, and I went to school and took exercise science, and there I knew I wanted to become something more. It was could be something else, and in university, I realized I discovered chiropractic, and I went to chiropractic school. And at the beginning, it was funny because I would adjust. I felt that if you had a spine and you're breathing, you need to be adjusted. And then I took class, and I significantly remember in this class, the doctor said chiropractic can help 75% of 75% of the people. And I was just like, wow, I wanted to help everybody. And so it led me to study all sorts of different chiropractic techniques. And I've studied all, so many of those, over 20. I've studied acupuncture, and once I got to chiropractic school, I started working into energy work. And really, that's really where things really started to take off for me. So I really switched paths and moved into energy work, and not focusing on the chiropractic where they focus on spine and, adjusting the spine. For me, I realized that the problem is more related to energy and how we can shift and move energy. We can fix more than just spinal problems. So instead of people coming in and complaining about, headaches and back pain, I was able to treat with digestive issues and skin issues and, all sorts of things over the years. And so this led to, to me discovering really with working with people, because a lot of it was self-discovery, me just using what worked, studied so many different things and applied things that worked well, using my own intuition and following that. It led me into discovering that a lot of these people's problems are actually just trapped emotions, and what, I realize is as we kind of grow, as a child, we grow and, something happens, whether we have some anger or some resentment or whatever feelings we're having in our body, or our parents say that's not okay, or you don't feel that way. And so we never really experienced how we felt. When we were really little, we would be angry or hurt, and we'd bonk each other in the head and we'd move on. But as we got older, we realized that that wasn't okay. And so really what we've done is we've trapped these emotions within ourselves, and now we've carried them around like luggage. And now it's just really about, I started working with people is really discovering that, right? And working on emotions, because really what you have is some kind of emotion, right? And then there's a feeling behind that, and underneath that feeling there's a story. And so what we want to do is, what I do now with clients is really just uncover that emotion and feeling that there, let go of that, and allow the body to release. At one point we, and we still sometimes discover some of that story, but that's not always important. And so it was funny because I'd work with a few clients, and then once I would let go of some emotional stuff, they would burp. And I thought that was really interesting. And people were always asking me, like, how do you work on yourself, Chris? And I was just like, you know what? I don't know. I was taking every course I could. I was, learning so many things. I was going into personal development. I was doing, meditation and working on energy blocks and, chakra balancing. I was trying to do as much as I could for my own self. Until I just started to work on myself, I just intuitively followed my own gut. And through learning different things, I started applying things that worked well for me. And so what I do is I teach this technique, and I've taught it to many people. And what I really did was a lot of clients have using it. And so now I've kind of broke it down into sections, and I'm going to teach that to people. And really what it is really have to identify where really the feeling is. We don't have to know the story. A lot of therapies, you have to go and realize what that primary source of that story is. But if you actually realize, you just have to notice what the feeling or the emotions are, how then they're affecting our bodies. Because that's really what's causing some of our pain, some of our digestive issues. Really, if you notice, when you have a happy sensation, you feel happy. But when we notice that some of our sad sensations, we feel that too. And it's really just a technique that we can, if we can acknowledge those pains, if we can acknowledge those feelings and realize what we could do with that, we can let that go. And that's really what I've discovered, and that's what I do for myself. And it has allowed me to work through all sorts of relationship issues, financial issues, family related issues. You know, the breakthrough for me was when I went to hockey. I'd play hockey and pick up, and I was really, loosey goosey. I played well, but when I played on a team in a league, there was all this extra anxiety, this extra pressure I'd place on myself. And so I noticed that I was never the same person in pickup as I was in a sport or in a game. And so I started to apply this technique, and this feeling like I have to pee like 3 times before a game because I was so anxious. And as I applied this technique just before the game, every game, I started to notice that my production, my level of play increased dramatically. And by the time, I was tripping over the blue line at the beginning to leading the team and scoring by the end. And so that's when I realized like I'm onto something. And so I started to apply this technique in all areas of my life, and it's worked, and I want to share that with you. So please come join me. If you have any questions, I'll be offering a free event, and please join me on that, and you can ask any questions you like about the technique. Anyways, looking forward to seeing you soon.